Hello guys, Sean Fogarty here. So welcome back to another video. Sorry I didn't do this yesterday because I didn't feel that much of energy yesterday, so I thought I'd do it today. So is this a tightest Premier League title race we've had in a long time? Because normally it's quite tight for a while, but then when it comes to like one side could just go on a massive run and run away with it, like City did last season, and when they won it by 1 point against Liverpool in the 18-19 season. We had to win every game out of the 14 games that we won to win the Premier League. If we didn't, one slip-up would have cost us the league that season. Obviously, Chelsea have come into this season with confidence on winning the Champions League. And obviously, because they were probably one of the favourites going into the Premier League season last year to win it, and they're probably in the title race. But like Lampard being their manager, they did well when Tuchel came in, but by the time he came in, they were already out of the title race, and they probably shouldn't have appointed Lampard. They should have probably appointed him like straight away when firstly they sacked Maurizio Sarri. Obviously, they've got 5 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat, and they've got a goal difference of 12, and Liverpool are in second with 15 points, and they've got 4 wins, 3 draws, no defeats. Liverpool are drawing a lot of games because they drew at the weekend at home to City, they drew the weekend before away at Brentford, and they've also got the early season game versus Chelsea where they drew 1-1 as well. Chelsea, they probably should have won because they were against 10 men for the majority of the second half. And no, for the whole second half and for a bit of the first half, and they still couldn't come away with all 3 points. They still ended up not being clinical enough and costed them and all 3 points, and ended up walking away feeling deflated with 1 point. Obviously, United and City are below them. City are on 14 points. We've got 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. The loss was when we didn't really go into that game with like a fully like fit like trained squad. We like just like threw them in the deep end with like only like 3 or 4 days of training. Obviously, we were going into this season hoping for a Sergio Aguero replacement, but we didn't end up getting one. But we've gone to Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge and got all 3 points. Liverpool away, which we have a terrible record at Anfield, and got a point. We were 1-0 down and 2-1 down, and we had to come from behind twice to get that draw. Look at these fixtures that we had at the start of the season, which are quite difficult. We had Chelsea away, and we won it 1-0. We had Liverpool away, we drew 2-2. We had Arsenal at home. I know you could say that they're not that great of a side, but they could still turn up and beat you on their day. It's just what Arsenal turns up. We smacked them 5-0. We went to a very difficult away ground in Leicester City after getting 5th 2 back-to-back seasons and got a 1-0 win despite not putting in our best performance. Obviously, we've had 61 games we played every game apart from one that we could have played. The only game we missed out on last season was the FA Cup final, so you would think we could have been doing worse because, number one, we have difficult fixtures, and number two is we'll probably have tired players from last season because a lot of our players were like either playing for England or other countries at the Euros as well, so we've done really well. Obviously, the Southampton game when we drew 0-0, we could have done better. But apart from that, in the recent fixtures, we've done really, really well. Fixtures that we're coming up with, we've got Burnley at home after the international break, which we normally do quite well at, and we've got a very good record of beating them 5-0 in the last 3 home games. Then we've got Brighton away. Don't underestimate them. They could like get a point off City or like make it very difficult for City to beat them. Like last season, if you were coming into this fixture, you would probably say City would win quite comfortably. But Brighton, they are in 6th place and they've got 2 draws, 2 wins and 1 defeat, and they're defending quite compact under Graham Potter. and that will be a difficult away game for City to contain. Obviously, United, they drew to Everton. They beat Aston Villa. Got beat by Aston Villa, sorry. They just about got away with the win at West Ham despite playing very, very poor and getting a late winner and Mark Noble missing it from the penalty spot. Then they obviously lost in the Champions League to Young Boys. I know it ain't anything got to do with the Premier League, but that will still knock the confidence of the United players. Then they beat Newcastle 4-1. Drew away to Southampton. Got very lucky with a grinding out 1-0 win away at Wolves. Then beat Leeds on the opening day 5-1. And they come off losing the Europa League final to Villarreal last year. And losing the title quite convincingly. And they haven't got a very good running coming up. I don't think I'd put them in the title race as it probably stands. But obviously, if they sack Ole, then that's the only way I could change my mind. At the start of the season, when they brought in, after transfer deadline day, I thought they were going to really make a real good push for it. Because obviously, they brought Ronaldo and Sancho Varane and invested in good talent in the summer, which they needed to do. And invest into that defence, which wasn't great before this season. Well, it hasn't been that great this season, really, but I think Varane and Lindelof could be, or Varane and Maguire could be the future partnership of United's defence. They haven't got a very good running coming up. They've got Leicester, Liverpool, sandwiched in between a home and away game, back-to-back against Atalanta. Atalanta are like the leagues of the Italian league, in my opinion. They love attacking football under... Wait, are they still under Gasperini, Atalanta? I think they are under Gasperini. Obviously, Everton, they're in 5th place. I know that, they're probably not going to win the Premier League, obviously, because there's at least 4 or 3 teams in the running for that are above them. Because obviously, let's see how many points we won it by last year. See how many points we got last year. Our points was quite low. I think if teams challenged us a bit more, we wouldn't have run away with it as much. I think that 21 win streak was very crucial for us winning the Premier League last season, because we won every game on the trot after that 1-1 draw with West Brom in December last year. United were behind us on 74 points, and then it was quite a lot between 3rd and 4th on 69 points and 67 points, Chelsea and Liverpool. Let's see if there was any really tight ones. You could kind of say when Chelsea won it back in 16-17, when they got 93 points to Tottenham's 86, if they didn't get grind out so many late wins, I think they could have dropped points not dropped or lost the title. Who's Chelsea's running coming up? Well, United have got the Manchester Derby in there as well for them, so that doesn't help. So they have... Who do Chelsea have? Because obviously they haven't done that well, because the 2 top sides, you could say, against Juventus and City, they've lost. So, when it comes against the bigger sides again, Chelsea have to do the plan B, because they've got a very difficult away game at Brentford, which isn't easy because they've got Ivan Toney in form, and they've got the team Spirit and Passion Brentford have coming up from the Championship last season. And they're doing quite well. They're only 4 points off top, and they've got 3 wins, 3 draws, and 1 defeat, and they're doing very well. And for a new Premier League side, they remind me a bit of Sheffield United when they first came up. They got 9th or something and nearly got into the Europa League. I would say my United could pick it up and get back into the title race, but I don't see it unless they sack Ole, and that's my only thing that's holding me off to say they're completely out of the title race. Because yes, they've got Ronaldo, but I don't think they've got the players around him they're good enough players around him, like to set up the chances for him. Because Bruno's not going to get as many goals and assists this year because he won't score as many penalties because Ronaldo's going to be on them, especially after that one the other week at home to Aston Villa when he skied it completely into someone's back garden. Liverpool, they've got United, which is pretty difficult. Then they've got Everton on the 30th of November, which isn't easy, especially with fans at Goodison Park. Then they've got Tottenham away. And then they've got Chelsea away on January 1st. So on the 18th, they've got Tottenham away. Then they've got, on the 28th, they've got Leicester away. Then they've got Leeds, which will tire their players out because they literally go all out attack and they like run like all around you with the attacking style of Mauro Bielsa. Chelsea away will be the proper test because if they lose that, then that could put them in the nail in the coffin for them in the title race. Then they play United at home on the 19th of March. Then they play City on the 9th of April, which, if in my opinion, that's going to go down as a must-win now, and it could be a title game decider, knowing that they haven't beat us at Anfield, which you would expect them to because we've got a poor record there and they've got the fans behind them. Then they have the last 4 games of the season. They've got Spurs at home. I wouldn't say that's two difficult games, but I've got a feeling like they could drop points with the games being sandwiched in between the Champions League fixtures. They're gonna lose at some point. I don't think if you can say out of all these 4 teams like City, Chelsea, and United are going to go a season unbeaten. Well, obviously City can't and United can't. Well, Liverpool are the only side in the league that haven't lost yet. You could say that's good, but they haven't beat any of the top sides yet. They've drew both of them, and City's got the win away at Chelsea. Liverpool, I think they're conceding quite a lot of goals this season because they've conceded 5 goals in the last 2 games in the Premier League, 3 away at Brentford and 2 at home to City, and they don't seem to be as rock solid with Van Dijk as they were before he got picked up that big lengthy injury last season that Pickford made the challenge on him. I would say Chelsea need to find a plan B for when it comes to the big games because the 2 games that has happened when it's come to a big game in the Premier League, they've changed their tactics and their original tactics that worked for City against City in the 3 previous times. It didn't work for the 4th time. I would say Chelsea I would say Liverpool, they've got big game players like Salah, always seems to turn up against the big sides and get either the goals or the late minute winners, or the goals that ends up wonder goals that ends up winning in the game. I would say we're probably 60%. Liverpool's 60 as well. Then Chelsea's, I'd say a 60 between Chelsea, Liverpool and City, and then it's a 25% United, because I think if they sack him before January, then I think they've got a good chance of the title. If you're watching this as a United fan, I'm not saying that you've got a bad players or bad squad. It's the manager and the backroom stuff is the problem for United. Because Mason Greenwood is a really good player, but I think, and Sancho's a really good young player, but I don't think they're really being used right in the system of United. I think Leicester, they're not in the best form at the moment. So for United, because they've drew to Palace at the weekend, lost in the midweek before that, drew to Burnley, then beat Brighton, got beat by Brighton. Leicester could be their transition season after having 2 quality seasons with winning the FA Cup and getting 5th place 2 times in a row. I would say the games for Liverpool will be key when they play Chelsea away and City away and United away. Because if they drop points in any of those games, because they haven't got a great record at Old Trafford, especially when there's been fans there. Because I remember when they won the league, the last time when they when they went on a really long game streak without getting beat. One of the games they did slip up was at Old Trafford, and when they drew 1-1. So you never know, that's where they could drop points. And then City could drop points when they because City, Our next real proper test is when we play United on the 6th of November. But Brighton away, we could, because we have it in a sandwich in between the two Bruges games in the West Ham game in the fourth round of the Carabao Cup, which I am going to, by the way. Brighton away will be tough because they're a decent side, and they could but the only thing that we need to take our chances in that game. But yes, Brighton ain't the clinicalist with Neil Maupay up front, but because I watched them their last game when they drew 0-0 with Arsenal, they would have battered them if they had a clinical striker up number 9 up top. If I would say we'd beat probably Brighton, then we'd beat Palace and Burnley. I think United. I think we'll probably win, but I'm not sure because they could just step on in the big game with the magnitude. Then we obviously have Everton, which ain't gonna be easy either. I think we'll probably pick up maybe the games where we could drop points to United because we haven't got the greatest record against them. We have got a good record at Old Trafford, but sometimes they can step up in the big games, and Pep don't really get the idea, the players don't really get the idea of the magnitude of the Manchester derby. I think they need to learn that a bit more. Then we have a difficult away trip to Villa, which isn't easy if it is a weeknight and with the crowd. Then we've got Watford, which we normally should probably win that. Then we've got Leipzig, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle. Congratulations on the takeover, by the way, Newcastle fans watching this video. Leicester, where we've got the tough test coming up is Chelsea at home. Then we've got United at home on the 5th of March. Then we've got Liverpool on the 9th of April. So if we beat Liverpool and we beat Chelsea at home, and I'd say that wins us the league. But if we lose those fixtures, that's where they could pull away. Chelsea, if they can beat Liverpool at home, which I could back them to because with the home crowd, that's the thing that's got the boost for City and Chelsea in those two fixtures. I would say if we take our chances, we win probably all of these games. But the thing is, without a striker, you can't guarantee that. And then with Chelsea, you can't guarantee when they come up against a big side, like they have done so far this season, their tactics won't work. Because, in my opinion, Chelsea haven't really beaten a big side yet. Yes, they've got the point at Liverpool with 10 men, but when they played City, they lost. And then when they played Juventus in the Champions League, they lost as well. So I think Tuchel might have to switch up his tactics for those games. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know who's going to win the Premier League in my opinion. This title could go either way. It could go to where one side just goes on a massive run and it's just a one-horse race has it been in the past, or just a two-horse race. But could it be the most exciting title race that we've ever seen in a long time, with a four-horse race for the title for pretty much half the season? I think by April one of these sides will fall away in my opinion, and then it could come just a side running all over it or just being a two-horse race. I would say thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Get me to 80 subs. Only 2 away from that now. Thank you all you guys and your wonderful people for watching this video. I love all your guys' support. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below, Sean Fogarty, and see you soon. And follow me on my Instagram and Twitter as well. Sean Fogarty and Sean and then Big Man City fan. Go into leave you and love you now. Goodbye, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your evening or day wherever you are across the world. Goodbye.